Welcome back to the weekly Brooklyn Property Market Update, brought to you by Engel & Volker's Brownstone, Brooklyn. My name is Katriona, and this week I'm coming to you live from London in the United Kingdom. And Donald is coming to us live from Utah. This is our first traveling edition, Donald.
Yeah, pretty exciting, huh? We're in a place that is kind of our home away from home here in Utah, and we usually come in the winter for skiing. So first time in the summer, and I tell you, it's absolutely beautiful part of the country, and really having a great time here.
It's great that we can all start to travel again as we follow the rules, of course, in doing that. But it feels really good, I have to say. So let's get to the 16 key markets that we track. Now, last week we had a slight lull in our numbers, as we know, but it seems that that's reversed again, and we're back to where we were a few weeks ago. So let's talk about the in-contract numbers for the luxury market above 2.25 million.
Yeah, sure thing. Last week we saw 24 deals go into contract, which is a market increase over 17 the prior week. The 24 number is much more in line with what has been happening in the previous 2 months, where we're averaging about 25 listings going into contract for this part of the market. Townhouses kind of dominate this segment at these price points, 14 of them last week, which is 60% of the overall 24. And this is measured against of only 17 new to market listings coming online during the same period.
So interestingly, there were no in-contract deals this past week above 6 million. That's for the first time in a while.
Yeah, very interesting as well. You know, it's a part of the market that is you know, less activity there generally than whatever happens below. Obviously, the highest volume down below 2.25, 80% of the market that we track is occurring there. And you know, there's historically seasonality to these price points for these asset types at these prices. And so, you know, this year maybe not the same as obviously last year, completely different, but even the prior years could see a little more pent up demand that's went to the sidelines last year. And, you know, because we are kind of seeing that as far as inquiries go, taking a lot of inbound inquiries for the townhouses that we currently have in the market over the last 2 weeks at a rate numbers that I don't recall seeing any time in the past. So good news there.
So for townhouses in that sort of magic 3 to 4 million price range, it does look like sellers might well have been watching and listening and are starting to seize the opportunity to get on the market, because that gap is widening for the first time, perhaps between available new to market and in contract activity.
Yeah, it had started about 2 weeks ago, where the new to market number popped big time at 13. For the week, which is about a month ago now, which was way above what was happening in this price segment over the past 12 months, where it was averaging, you know, somewhere around 4. So great to see, as we noted then, because demand at this price point is significant. And but most recently this week, we did see 8 listings going into contract. So closing the gap there a little bit versus only 6 coming online new to market. So there was a significant gap there. And if you were a buyer, it would certainly be something to take advantage of. If you're still a buyer, still active, I urge you to stay in there and take advantage of this kind of disconnect right now between the supply versus demand. And again, usually in the summer, not as much as the higher price points, but fewer participants typically here. So if you're a buyer, now's the time to act. So don't miss out on it.
So in the below 2.25 million market, it looks like those condo resales are again dominating the in-contract and new to market activity.
Yes, that is correct. 37 deals going into contract last week for resales versus 15 condos. The 37 is the highest number of any type of asset in this price point. And that is pretty much in keeping what's been going on for quite some time, at least through early 2021, where these new to market listings versus for resales and in contract versus new development are almost double. Not every week, but at least half the weeks where that activity, both on new entrants and deals getting signed up is very strong and continues to be that way.
So this week we're going to end on a topic we don't normally talk about, and that would be rentals. Now, as we know, actually 67% of the homes in New York are actually rented, so it's a big market. And last year, when we were in the middle of our COVID lockdown, it was the opportunity to get the best discounted lease you could possibly imagine, particularly in Manhattan. Now it looks like we're turning that corner, and our own personal experience with our landlords and with people we work with trying to find rentals is that that's not quite so easy anymore. And if you have the flexible space, 2 or 3 bedrooms, private outdoor space, then it's in real high demand. And what about townhouse rentals, Donald? Any observations on those?
But we're certainly seeing some strong demand for rentals that started back in the spring. And that pool of user is, a combination of things. There's always kind of a transient population in the marketplace in New York City, and also families maybe that are undertaking a renovation of a home in that neighborhood, adjacent neighborhoods, temporary housing there. But also right now, quite a few people that we're working with are pending townhouse buyers. They're just not there yet. So they're kind of usually coming from other parts of the city or from out of town, and, kind of approaching it of like test driving the neighborhood, the asset type and so forth. And because the number of buyers is pretty strong, they're in excess of what's available in the market. So it is kind of tricky finding those homes that people are looking for. So it may drag through the summer here and a little bit last mid scramble as we approach the school year, which is people do like to get settled by there. So we're going to pay close attention to see how this unfolds for sure.
Okay, that's it from us this week. We will join you again next week from our future destinations, wherever they might be. And it's bye from me.
Take care, Katriona.
Bye. See you next week, Donald.
Bye-bye.